Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are a regular here. This is the continuation of the Idaho 4 series of readings, and I'm about to pull the next name out of the jar.
Who holds the gavel? Who breaks the chain? Who hides the evidence? Who shifts the blame? Behind the badge, behind the smile, lies a ledger dripping vile, redding stains and twisted ties, a house of mirrors built on lies.
I just want to first of all just say thank you to everyone who has gone to the effort of doing some research for me on my last reading, which was about a certain person. I don't want to mention his name, but the initials are DF, and a few of you did go to a lot of effort to find out more about him, and thank you. I really appreciate that. So we've been trying to find out who his children are, and a couple of you have come up trumps with that, so thank you. I'm definitely going to be adding those names to this jar, but also I'm not done. I am getting some very strong intuition that actually the link here might be a grandchild, not a son or a daughter. So if anyone, and please, if I don't expect you to spend hours doing this, it's only if you just happen to be, I don't know, scrolling on the internet and you've got you're enjoying some free time and it's something you want to do. I would love to try and find out if he has any grandchildren that would have been attending the U of I at the time of the unalivings, that would have been around the same age, it would have been in the same fraternities or sororities, you know, whatever. It would be good to know. Thank you. Anyway, let's find out who's going to be our subject for today. Who's it going to be? Oh my God. I just can't believe how these names are coming out. It's just... So, the next person I'm reading is Mr. Joshua Hurwit, who is a lawyer for the prosecution. So this is going to be interesting. Before I begin, the reason I said it's amazing how these are coming out of the jar is that I think it was yesterday I was just doing my usual pottering about, getting stuff done, but also having something playing on the TV, and it happened to be Pab's latest video, which happened to be about Josh. Now, I don't know. I didn't actually watch it. I always do that. I put something on, I'm busy doing something, and then the next thing I know, I'm somewhere else and I don't even get to watch the actual video. But I do remember thinking, it'll be so interesting if that name comes out of the jar tomorrow. And out it comes. It's just, yeah, it's just very, very, very interesting. So let's get going. We're going to start with the Clarifying Life Situations deck because he is a new person that I'm reading for. But before I begin, before I forget to do this again, this is a psychic reading. I use oracle cards, I use tarot cards, and occasionally I get messages from spirit. I interpret these messages in my own way, and you may interpret them differently in your own way, and I encourage you to do so. At no point am I claiming any of this to be factual, or am I making any accusations. This is for entertainment purposes only. So let's see what needs to be seen, what needs to be shown, what needs to be uncovered about Mr. Hurwit. And we have a stray card. Just check there's no others. Stray card, which is always exciting. Okay. Wow. Okay, it's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those readings, guys. The first card is Learning Secrets. It says, stay open-minded and receptive as you uncover hidden truths and embrace the lessons they offer. The next card is Walking Unscathed. You are fortunate. A trap was laid out for you, but you were too smart to fall for it. Yeah, I bet he did find out some secrets. I bet he did. I bet that's why he got called in to be part of the prosecution team. And this walking unscathed, is it actually about him, or is it about the actual real perpetrator or perpetrators? It could be that people were trying to, when I say people, probably more like the other side, the defense, maybe trying to catch him out, maybe trying to expose him for some reason. So next deck. Nope, that's tarot. Next deck is the Keywords Oracle. One happened to be flipped up the other way, so I'm choosing that card because it presented itself to me. And this card that happened to be facing the wrong way, face up rather than face down, was this card, and it's the Police card. And it says, police, helpful person, give assistance, hiding, be on the lookout, things coming to light. Rules, you should ask for help from someone in authority and structure. So it's almost as if speculatively a member of law enforcement was one of the perpetrators, that they've actually directly gone to Josh Hurwit to say, we need you on the case, and had to divulge everything, all the information, and just say, okay, this is why we need you. It's almost as if it's the sort of thing he would have dealt with before. And it 100% makes me feel like he knows exactly what happened. He knows who was involved. And then this card is stethoscope, health card, heart, mind, body, get well, be well, get checkup, healthy choices, change in diet or exercise. The stethoscope is the thing that's relevant here. Forget about the, the other bits and pieces like health card or getting checkup and that kind of thing. This is something to do with the medical professional. Is this something to do with Mr. Hurwitz having a hand in not allowing certain medical evidence to be submitted from the defense? There would have been a of course I've forgotten what it's called. Motion in limine regarding this, and I can't remember. I've watched a lot of the hearings that happened, and whether there was something here about a medical, someone's evidence not being allowed, which is just crazy in itself. It's like, especially if they were there or they were one of the people that had direct access to the victims. I don't know, but this is about something Josh Hurwit managed to block. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's evidence that one of the police officers were injured, and that was never made public. I don't know. Do you know one thing I've never been able to understand, and it's the same in this country as it is in the United States, and that is body-worn cameras, police officers. It's not compulsory that they record every interaction they have or every scene they go to. It's not compulsory. They can say they accidentally left their camera switched off. Why? It should be compulsory. The only time, it would be some kind of technical failure, but they'd have to prove there was no tampering involved. I've never understood why they get away. It's so flimsy. So let's have a look. Next deck. I'm going to do something a little bit different with this one. This is the Chakra Oracle deck. The reason I'm picking it is because it just has one word on it and it just feels clean. It feels intuitive. It feels nice. So I'm going to use this as well. So this is the Chakra Oracle deck. So we have two cards that have been spat out. First one is Faith. And the second is Grief. Again, giving me all that energy of, again, what's he a member of? He's a member of something. That's what the Faith card is about. It's not about traditional religion. It's about whatever society or cult he's a member of. Grief. just looking at this faith card. It's even showing Bill Thompson in the background there. I mean, these people. Let me just see, who else have we got? So we've got Bill Thompson at the back being portrayed. I think it's meant to be Jesus, but we'll just, we'll ignore that. Can't tell if that's a male or a female, but it's definitely a dark-haired female lawyer. What's her name? Oh, Ashley. Someone that looks like her. This one. And the other one with a hood. I'm not too sure who that represents, but they're all part of the same cult or society or whatever it is. We're not too sure. I'm not too sure what it is, whether it is something like the Illuminati, if the Illuminati does exist, or if it's Freemasons, or if it's something else, that it's so secret that we don't actually know what it's called. Maybe. Grief is interesting because I don't know if this is about his personal situation, that maybe he was going through something of his own at the time. I don't know. I'm going to wait for the clarifying life situation. I'm going to wait for the clarifying tarot cards to tap into that. Next deck. Let's do the shadows. Shadow of darkness. So we've got elevate, trust yourself, raising vibrations. Defeat, victim and self-pity. God, there's that image again of head injury. Elevate. There's something here I'm picking up about him. And I don't know why I feel like it's definitely been aimed towards Anne Taylor, is that they would have had, I'm sure I picked this up in her reading when I did a reading for her, that there would have been times when they were interacting. He's really harsh. It's almost like she's called him out on certain things in private and said, you know, how you've manipulated the evidence or whatever it is, documents. I know what you've done. You know, I don't know how you're getting away with it. It's kind of like that, but he's snapped back at her, saying, "Oh, get over yourself. Stop acting like you're the victim and stop feeling sorry for yourself." It's that kind of thing. It wouldn't surprise me if it was his idea, the very first instance of actually not allowing this ever to go to trial. He would have known the wealth of evidence that didn't support their narrative. In fact, he would have known the wealth of evidence that could have possibly incriminated other people. And once the trial was live, so to speak, Judge Hitler couldn't really get away with what he'd been doing before that, the run up, like how he was disallowing certain things. He would have had to play by the rules more so in the public eye. So he's probably, and I know that Hitler absolutely loved the ground that Josh Hurwitz walked on. I know that for a fact. So whatever he said, he would have made happen. Josh says, listen, you need to stop this going to trial. They need to be offered a plea deal. You need to make it so that it is, you know, I don't know. But this elevate card gives me the creeps, because it makes me feel like as if this is something to do with the secret cult society, whatever it is, he's progressing quite well, quite quickly, quite prominently in whatever's going on there. It might be that as far as that society is concerned, he's actually higher than someone like Hitler, which is why Hitler's so grovelly towards him, because as far as that's concerned, he's subservient to Hurwitz. So let's see what's next. So this is the Echoes of the Soul Oracle. Interesting. Lucky symbol, crucial card. Exercise control, avoid manipulative tactics. So he had to rein it in. You know, he could have been way more manipulative than he was being. And maybe he would have been more manipulative towards Ann Taylor, the defense, Brian Coburg, I don't know. But he realized that actually he's dealing with a couple of people who may have caused trouble if he'd given in to his own instincts, if that makes sense. He wanted to be more manipulative. He wanted to be, but he had to exercise control on not taking it too far and shooting himself in the foot. And then we have clarity as you wish. Stay present. Truth emerges. It's weird. I don't know what this is about, because I don't think this is about the actual truth emerging. it is. Maybe it's him preparing for something. Gosh, I hope if Brian Kober ends up getting a retrial, I sincerely hope that Josh Hurwit isn't his prosecuting lawyer. I don't know, but whatever's going on in the background, it feels like he's the advisor, or he's still involved. So let's do the tarot. I'm using the Tarot de la Nuit for clarity. I wonder if Josh Hurwitz has ever worked with or for Mr. DF. That would be very interesting, because it's almost like Mr. Foreman could have been the one that actually instructed him to get involved with the case. Could have come from him. And because he's not a criminal lawyer, that's why it's so weird. It's like, what is going on? Okay, so let's see. The first two cards: Walking Unscathed, Learning Secrets. Coming in with the Eight of Pentacles reversed. And the Page of Cups. So this, straight away, as soon as this card came out, the Eight of Pentacles reversed, I got the message: stop everything. Like any work that's been going on, he's told the team, stop. And, you know, everything stops right now. I'm not saying that the court was in recession or anything like that. I'm saying that any ongoing work that was going on, he told them to cease, because he was having to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb and, you know, basically give them new instruction about what was going to happen from that point onwards. The Page of Cups. So he knew about a link, direct link to this, to the one of the reasons for what happened, as one of the links being to do with Xana, I think, because the Page of Cups, I think, is Xana rather than Ethan. Something more there that I can't quite figure out. So then here comes the police card and the stethoscope card. clarified by the Three of Wands. Sorry about the X-rated. And the Six of Cups. Three of Wands, police, stethoscope. Something to do with Kaylee. Straight away, I'm sorry to say it, as soon as I saw that image, just cover her up, her modesty. I thought, oh my God, this is Kaylee. She's... Maybe this is to do with covering up the pregnancy. Maybe that's what it was to do with, that they were not going to allow that to be submitted into evidence. I need to have a session with Kaylee. There's problems here with her because there's certain things that she's ashamed of, that she's not talked to me about yet. And that's part of her journey to transition, is that she's got to deal with those things. She's got to face those things. And whether she's going to be able to talk to me about them before that happens, I don't know. But it's crucial. And then we've got the Six of Cups. Excuse me. God, he's having to. He's had to, like, erase someone's past, and I feel like it's to do with this police officer. To a certain extent, erase any, it's like damage limitation. Whoever this police officer is, there would have been records of misdemeanors or, all sorts of things, and yet he's made it disappear. And it also makes me feel like his recommendation would have been that that person was removed from not removed from the force, but changed course in their career in some way. And I wonder if it's Brett Payne, because he ended up working for the university. In fact, a couple of them ended up going elsewhere or being transferred, or I don't know. Grief and faith. Five of Wands in reverse. And the Six of Pentacles in reverse. There is something here about grief. Not his grief. It's someone else's grief. And I don't know if this is something personal, if this is something to do with one of the victims. I feel like someone knew him quite well. Someone had dealt with him before in some way that's linked to the victims. It could be anyone. And then we have the Six of Pentacles reversed. It's something to do with recovering debt, recovering money. And I don't know if that would have been in his capacity as a lawyer or if that was part of his, I don't know, because I don't think it was part of this case, but it's something else that he, probably not even in a legal capacity, would have approached someone to say, you know, if you don't pay this back, then we can make your life, you know, it's like, I don't know, we can pin something on you. There's nothing you can do about it. You need to sort the money out and don't care how you do it or how you find it. I don't know who this is, but someone was grieving. He had to threaten them. That's what it feels like. And it's like he would have said, there's people that can make things happen that you have absolutely no idea about what you're dealing with. I don't know, it's like, and then we have defeat and elevate. Clarified by the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Sorry guys, Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And the High Priestess in reverse. Seven of Pentacles reversed. He feels like someone who's very good at working under pressure. He's someone that can come up with something in the moment. You know, he's like, he doesn't need to go and think about it for hours or days on end or work out a strategy. He's very good at just naturally coming up with solutions instantly. And the High Priestess reversed. It's almost like he's knocked someone off. It's I don't know, it's like there was someone, it feels like there was someone above him. And I'm thinking more about this kind of secret society kind of energy that he's overtaken or disempowered in some way. He's quite ruthless. And then we have lucky symbol, crucial card, clarity as you wish, stay present, truth emerges, exercise control, avoid manipulative behavior, tactics. Clarified by the King of Swords. The Ace of Cups reversed. Again, I'm getting Steve G vibes. I know it's usually the King of Cups, but for some reason I'm getting this from him because they manipulated him as well. 100% they manipulated him. They were meant to have been on his side and they used him. And that's why he had to be careful. I think he had to be careful with Steve about what he was doing and how he was playing that card. Not to be overly manipulative, not to, you know, to kind of be much more subservient with Steve G. Make him feel like he was the one in control when he wasn't. No, it makes sense. That clarity as you wish, stay present, truth emerges. That was how they dangled that carrot for the Gonsalves all the time, especially Steve, telling him all the way along, you know, don't worry, everything will become clear. Everything will be disclosed in time. We can't give you the information yet, but you will have it. And he never had it. He never got all those promises were broken. He was never, things were never validated for him. And yet all the way along he was told by Josh Hurwit, stay strong, hold on, it's we're nearly there. And the Ace of Cups reversed. Oh God, I think this is I was trying to work out who is it that Josh hates or who is it that Josh has such a strong dislike for. And then I realised, no, it's not him, is it? It's Steve. It's Steve. Steve G. Steve G now has an intense dislike of Mr. Hurwitz. So let's just look at this last card, which was the Phantom card that got mixed up in the wrong deck. It comes from the What Lies Beneath deck. Oh my God. And it's pregnancy test, and it says unsure, pregnancy scare, positive, negative. So I wonder if that's a nod as well towards the fact that he had to hide that from Steve as well. The fact that if Kaylee had been pregnant at the time, that would have been hidden from him. And I wonder if he finds out, if he's going to find out actually the truth. I dread to think what will happen if he finds out, because he is going to go after a few people. God, it's weird though, because I get the same vibe from Steve. So if he's part of the same society, they're working against each other. How does that work? How does that play out? It's like they're manipulating each other. And I don't know how that, again, I don't know anything about this particular cult. You know, I wish I did. I wish I did. Do I wish I did? Maybe not, but if I could remain safe and find out, I would love to find out, just to see, you know, is there a history of inner conflict or inner, you know, maybe they do finish each other off. That sounds rude. Finish each other off, not like that. Maybe they, you know, if someone becomes a problem, they just get rid of them. I don't know, guys, but it's getting really interesting, I have to say. So I'm going to leave it there. Well, thank you. Don't forget, members, tomorrow you have your first Monday members Q&A video to look forward to. And yeah, otherwise I leave you with, as always, my love, my appreciation, my gratitude for everything that you bring to this channel, all of you. And always just remember, whatever's going on in your life, to try and remember to enjoy the journey. Till next time.